Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 6 of NECC League of Legends. Tonight we have UNI versus OU. I did not check. What does OU stand for?
University of Oklahoma.
Wait, like Oklahoma University or University of Oklahoma? I'm just confused about
Uh,
the OV if it's.
um, uh, why does their NECC page just says Oklahoma?
Okay.
It's OU.
University of Oklahoma, but they just must go by OU. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Looks like
University
it.
of Oklahoma goes by OU. Okay. That's just like backwards in my head, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough talking about the college names. Here we are getting into a draft. So it looks like UNI has banned all 80 carries. They've banned Misfortune, Kog'Maw, and Jinx. Whereas OU is also kind of going the same route, banning the bot laners. Looks like they've banned Lucian, Seraphine, and now Xerath. Looks like they did not want a taste of the UNI what was it?
They're
It's
like
Xerath.
special.
Yeah, Xerath Jin.
Jin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although Jin is still on the table for UNI if they do want to go it. They are going to go Hui, so my guess is maybe we'll see the Hui Jin again from UNI.
And what I like about the Hui pick here is, as fans of UNI, we know like, oh yeah, that's probably going to go support. But if you're on the enemy team, you're thinking that could either be mid, that could be support. So you really don't have any knowledge from what UNI is going to try to do here.
Looks like we're gonna see Sivir from OU. Sivir is one of my favorite 80 carries just because she was like the first one I learned how to play. And by learned I mean played. I did not actually learn how to play her.
Hmm.
And Pantheon. Ooh, okay. Pantheon I always find scary. All right, looks like it is going to be Hui Jin from UNI. Ooh, and the UNI gets the Nocturne. That's because, this
Ooh.
time around, OU did not ban any junglers. I feel like in the past, we always see the junglers getting banned right away from the enemy team. And, yeah, OU did not ban a single jungler. Looks like they've locked in Garen as well. All right, here comes the Darius ban. I did see that Darius is like the strongest. Well, what I saw said jungler, not even top laner, just
Mhm.
jungler. So, but UNI's already got their jungler, so that's
For
really interesting.
some reason, Darius has one of the fastest jungle clears in the game right now. I want to say it's close to like 2 minutes 54 seconds or something, which is insane.
So it looks like we've got the Orianna ban, which I don't know if we've ever seen. Has UNI played Orianna in the past?
I believe their mid laner has some experience on it,
Okay,
but not in recent memory have I seen it in like one of the NECC games.
noted. All right, looks like we've got Rakan potentially, Rakan Sivir coming out from OU. So, okay, wait, I'm just looking at OU's team. So Recon is going to be support. Do you think the Pantheon is mid or jungle?
My guess is that it's going to be mid lane, but seeing the Ambessa locked in, I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to go for something like. And I'm going to completely change my mind because you and I just locked in Galio, so yeah, Pantheon mid. That makes total sense.
Okay. This is interesting. I don't think, I mean, I don't know if I'm the Galio pick. I'm very interested to see. I guess just played from UNI and Kale.
I'm I'm very curious about this Galio pick, mainly because until Kale was locked in, where's the AP
Yeah, that's
on
what I
OU?
was thinking.
So
There's like no AP. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how both of these teams play out. Um, I so Ambessa's top into the Kale.
I assume so.
Wait, okay.
Now it looks like it might actually be a Pantheon jungle,
Pantheon
because
jungle.
what else makes sense?
So then Kale is mid or Garen is mid. I'm
I,
curious to see who's going where.
I'm already a little bit confused, so this game's gonna go great.
Yeah, I feel like it's always interesting when the comps are interesting. I feel like it always makes for an exciting game for sure.
Hmm.
Looks like we've got a restroom break coming in here before we get locked into the game.
All right, good start.
I've taken a screenshot of everything they had picked.
That's exactly what I did.
You said you did take a screenshot?
Yeah.
You should put it in uh the group chat. So we can look at ranks here. Um Okay, so it's looking like OU's master player is their AD carry, which is probably why UNI banned so many of those
Hmm.
AD carries, which makes sense. So based on not okay, where they are, like where their names are, that's not necessarily what they're playing, is it? Or
I I think normally it is, but that doesn't quite make sense.
I guess I'm just looking at like from UNI who is going to be on mid and who's going to be on jungle, because by the
Hmm.
Nocturne pick I was thinking it was going to be backlit unless the Dalai Lama plays Nocturne.
Yeah, I immediately thought backlit as well on jungler. Um, and then 2 weeks ago, that second game they had like a swap with mid and jungle, so
Mm.
maybe they're trying that again or something.
Yeah, I mean it worked for UNI last time. I don't remember what was played exactly. Um, all right, looks like we're getting ready to go into the game. Of course, we will still have 3 minutes for us to speculate about. I guess we'll get to see, who locks in which character.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I am curious to see where everyone is going to end up. Okay, yeah, so it is going to be Ambessa, Garen top lane. Azir. Was there a misclick? Okay, no. It's Kale mid. You know, there was a while I was learning to play Kale. Like a while ago, like it was probably level like 30 in League of Legends. And I hated playing top lane. So I would see if I could figure out other places I could play Kale, and Kale mid was not not for me.
I don't know what it is recently, but like everyone hates top lane. And especially a couple seasons ago, it's like, we'll just take top laners and put them everywhere but top lane and see if it works out. And it did, because of course. But
Yeah, I mean, now I'm a mid lane player, and yeah, I've played up against quite a few Garens and Malphites.
I'm a very proud
Cho'Gaths.
Ivern one trick, so I'm just gonna sit in my jungle and y'all can have fun.
You ever tried the Ivern support?
Oh,
Take
of course
smite,
I have.
go for the enemy camp.
Of course I have. No, it's great is you do Ivern support with smite in a 5-stack of your buddies, and you take your jungler's camps.
Oh, of
It's the
course.
best. Yeah. Wouldn't recommend in any competitive scenario, but so much fun.
So it looks like it is going to be the Dalai Lama on Nocturne and Backlit on Galio. So we are going to see kind of that swap here. But I mean, I will say I'm very excited to see Backlit on mid just because that's like when I first saw him play, he played mid. I feel like that's where he's the most comfortable. So, I mean, obviously, he's still a great jungler, as we have seen. But I'm excited, I guess, to see how this goes for UNI. You know, into this comp. Be interesting. You know, I also find, you know, I think usually, like, when I see a Pantheon, the enemy team is going to look to kind of get their power spike early. But then they have the Kale, you know, looking to prolong the game. So if Pantheon does get picks early, it could be pretty scary for UNI.
Yeah, and to kind of go off of that, Pantheon is, like you said, is wanting to look for these picks early, looking for these early skirmishes. But you have a Kale and you have a Sivir, which aren't gonna do much in those like early dragon, early grubs fights. So it'll be a lot of careful positioning from OU to kind of play around an interesting scaling point.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I am blown away. I think every time I've watched UNI, they are allowed to have Jhin. Like, people will ban away Xerath, people will ban away Seraphine. We see the memes in Twitch chat about the Seraphine ban, but the Jhin is just so solid every single game. And I'm wondering if you like swapped some of the bans around and maybe banned out the Jhin, what is you and I gonna default to? And could that give you an advantage in a draft? Yes, Kentucky Fried Chicken Galio. There we go.
Both on the same page.
Yes, ban Jhin, not Sarah. Exactly. That's what we want to see.
You know, I don't even have the chat open, but I know exactly who's typing that.
Gathering Storm Jhin, one shot every champ at 3 hours. Well, as much as I love seeing Gathering Storm scale, I don't want to sit here for 3 hours for one game, so...
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Right. So looks like
30 seconds until minions spawn.
maybe setting up for an invade from OU. Looks like they are going for bot side. Quay is aware of it. Or maybe just the ward. All right.
I feel like being able to go in for that level 1 and just even being able to put down a ward is really important for OU in this early game, because you're able to track the Nocturne and you're able to get your Pantheon into the right position on a map where you can look for that first blood, look for those early feat of warfare, whatever it is. I'm anxious to see how Kale does in this mid lane, though, being against the Galio.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup, for sure. But it looks like Pantheon is also starting bot side, mirroring the Nocturne.
I'm trying to hit the W there. Able to go right between the field posts. I'm definitely not looking forward to moments like that where we see Ambessa doing Ambessa things and I'll have to cast it because I don't get that champion half of the time. It just dash and
Dash
whatever.
in, do some damage. Dash around. Yeah, I will say one thing, you know, I'm interested to see with the Pantheon, you know, as we've said, bot side and mid, not going to be super strong here early from OU. I'm not entirely sure how the Garen and Bessa matchup is going to go, but...
Recall is going to get stopped by Nocturne. There's fighting basically everywhere. Rakan going down to about a quarter HP, Nocturne having to get exhausted there. The W almost taking down Rakan, but the heal from the Q is able to heal him back up. Good trade in the mid lane for Galio. Bad trade in the bot lane for Rakan, trying to stop that recall. Looks like he's going to get engaged on again, but the W from Hwei is going to bug out or something. I don't know. Another trade happening in the top lane. I can't catch my breath. Here we go mid. Kale's down to 1 HP. And I'm gonna breathe now.
Yeah, no, you're good. You know, one thing, just kind of like circling back here with that trade. I was gonna say with that trade, you know, the Pantheon was able to kind of be up top, help his Garen out. Slowing Nocturne on his clear. I mean, if you look, Pantheon's got most of his top side completed, whereas Nocturne still has yet to complete any part of his top side. Kind of freeing that up for, you know, the Garen, allowing him to take a little bit more space as Mbessa, you know, had to go down there. And, I mean, right now it's still 0-0 across the board. No one's really gotten any kills, kind of been able to capitalize off these trades quite yet. But we'll see as, you know, players are kind of sticking around. Maybe UNI will be able to secure a pick here as Galio's going in on the Kale.
This Galio is wild. Okay, backlit needs to chill. First blood going over to the Galio underneath the tower. That's just, I think, the biggest weakness of Kale is you run out of mana. You're so weak before level 6. There's nothing you can really do.
Yeah, and if we know backlit, we know he's going to be able to capitalize off of that. And if there's anyone you want to get first blood, you know, I feel like that's a very good person to get it for UNI.
One thing that we saw for maybe 2 seconds was Pantheon get cornered in near his red buff and have to flash over the wall. That is a really important summoner spell to have out of the Pantheon because now he doesn't have another engage tool to get onto that immobile bot lane. As we see some trading mid and Nocturne going in bot lane. UNI getting pretty low, but Nocturne's here trying to keep him healthy. Rakan W goes in, knocks up the Nocturne down to about half HP. trying to run away. The Q is going to miss from the Sivir, and that's going to be 3 health bars chunked for the side of UNI. This Gale getting extremely low. Pantheon getting walked around in a circle. Q is able to hit, but doesn't look like much is going to happen. And there, you know, if Pantheon had his flash, that would have been a kill over to OU, but...
Looks like the tables have kind of turned topside here as Garen has hit level 6 and Mbessa's still at level 5. Getting kind of close to level 6, but not quite there yet. Not able to match that. Of course, the Galio is going to get a second pick mid on this Kale. Yeah, definitely kind of just keeping that Kale pushed back. She's still been able to keep up on her farm, so it could be, you know, a little dangerous for UNI, depending on how much this Galio is going to be able to continue to shut her down as she levels. It's like Void Grubs are going to go to OU. Dragon's still up bot side. It's like OU is potentially positioning or at least placing down wards, maybe looking to take it.
And I think that was a really good read from OU. You know, we mentioned how are they gonna deal with Pantheon winning early kills, but your mid laner is, you know, such a late game scaler. Your mid laner dies, and the enemy recalls, so you have no one to fight you for grubs. So the problem solved. Hale able to reach that level 6 point in the lane, survive-ish long enough there. Can now start tickling Galio from afar. Love to see it.
You know, it's like both teams are, you know, kind of looking to want to fight for this dragon. UNI recognizes, okay, we lost grubs. Maybe we can secure this dragon. Looks like Garen is going to take down Mbessa, getting the first kill for OU this game.
Garen hit the win button. Spin to win.
Looks like
that
Pantheon...
I think is going to be... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, it looks like Pantheon has started drag, and yes, OU's bot side has come up to join him. UNI potentially looking to, you know, either steal or interrupt them here.
Looks like they are going to try to fight for it. Curtain Call comes down, isn't able to hit anything, but Nocturne is able to get onto the back line. Galio ult comes in, but the Kale ult keeps him alive. Nocturne does go down, Exhaust goes out to Jin, limiting that damage. OU's got some pretty low health bars, and Wei is able to take one, then Galio's able to pick up another. Kale's getting really low, Jin's trying to chase, is able to pick up that kill. Deadly Flourish misses just barely, Sivir's dodging and weaving everything, and she might be able to get out of there. But that is a 2 for 3? No, 1 for 3.
1 for 3, yeah. I mean, there was that pick top, but yeah, the fight bot side over drag was 1 for 3. I mean, OU did get dragged, but UNI got 3 kills off of that. The Pantheon got a kill, which, you know, I would say is going to allow him, you know, just kind of catch up a little bit. Although the Galio now being 3-0 and 1, as well as Jin picking up a kill and some assists along with Wei. Looking pretty good for, I mean, you know, looking kind of even for both teams, I would say. I mean, if you look at gold share right now, it's almost exactly even. OU down just about 200 gold. Up in objectives, but UNI up in kills.
And I know what I wanted to... Rakan going in under the tower, looking to maybe just poke that Jin down, but taking some huge tower damage, and Wei damage is going to even out that trade a bit. Maybe I'll get to say it this time. The Garen, I feel like, is a somewhat good counter to Jin with the way UNI has drafted, because you don't have a ton of peel for your backline. So what's gonna stop him from just spinning on Jin?
Yeah, very true. And it looks like Grubs have spawned top side. UNI looking to claim those, not allowing OU to get, you know, all 6 of those Grubs, still wanting to get those, and also not giving up on the 3 objectives for feats of strength. And so if we're looking at, you know, as you had mentioned, who's gonna, you know, kind of be the scariest coming from OU, I definitely think, just looking at like CS and looking at how each lane has been doing, yeah, I think the Garen is going to be very scary as he continues to scale. He's kind of been able to just keep pushing the Mbessa back. We saw him struggle a little bit in the early game, but things have kind of turned around. He's got 2 levels up on the Mbessa. Although maybe Galio is going to be able to help.
Ooh. I do know Mbessa's ultimate, and I do know that sadly missed, so Garen able to flash out of that one. Not much there for the collapse. But I think Garen's just going to try and keep getting away with this Bouse-ish strategy. This Pantheon goes in on Galio, isn't going to get much. Eclipse, nice little extra damage there. But nothing coming out of that one. At a 30 CS difference in the top lane, Mbessa, like you mentioned, had the advantage in the early game and is now just struggling to keep up a little bit.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, it looks like he's going in for UNI's bot side jungle.
I thought they already took tower because he was there, but
No, not quite yet. Just maybe. Well, he's not even placing vision. He's just hanging out in the jungle, potentially waiting for Nocturne. Okay, no, he did place vision. But it looks like while Garen is over there, UNI and OU are looking to kind of take this fight around Dragon, as it is going to be up in a few seconds. Both teams wanting to claim that feat of strength with that Dragon. This Garen has a lot of patience. I don't think I would be able to hang back that long waiting.
Insane.
Okay, he's taking.
Personally, this is what I like top lane. Being the ambassador is infuriating.
And it looks like Garen is going to TP in for the.
Slide away the scuttle. Like I said, both top laners coming and teleporting here. It's going to be a 5-on-5 for this Dragon. Nocturne ulting it onto the Kayle, good targeting. Kayle all going to go down herself. Galio's in there. The curtain calls it in there. Rakan, huge 3-man knockup. Whale goes down, but only hits one person. Jin's able to finish off one. Nocturne is able to get another one. And Bess is able to pick up the Sivir. Pantheon tries to go for a return kill, isn't able to quite get it. And that is a 4-for-0 for OU, and UNI is able to pick up the Dragon. Both teams, 2 objectives in for that 3 objective feat of strength.
Oh, I don't know why. I thought UNI already had 2. I thought for some reason I thought there was another dragon. I thought that was the 3rd dragon. Yeah, so just kind of looking, you know, back at that fight, you had mentioned earlier that, you know, UNI doesn't have like a ton of peel. However, what they do have with the Rakan and the Galio is a lot of engage, and UNI was really able to capitalize on their engage that fight with the knockup ult from the Galio, the knockup from the Rakan, just kind of able to take out the Garen before he really got to do anything. I mean, his HP was just absolutely chunked down. And I mean, he's a tank. He still wasn't able to hang in there. And it looks like this is where, you know, we kind of see there's a lot of back and forth, but I think the tides are going to turn off that fight for UNI. Although it does look like OU is going to take first turret top side, giving each team now 1 feat of strength.
Garen gonna get collapsed on by 3 here up in the top lane. Is gonna fall. We saw that Kale go down again in the mid lane. 0-4 now. I think in the draft fight, her ult was a little bit misplaced. She tried to ult herself, which works, but I feel like it would have been better to maybe ult Garen at that point. UNI are going to take down the Rift Herald uncontested, earning them the feat of strength, the super boots, whatever you want to call it. I call them super boots. Jin going for a little scrap here. Sorry, I thought that was going to result in more.
You're good. So I think one thing that we can note here is if we look top side, it looks like Atacon is going to be spawning top side. I believe it's just going to be Voracious Atacon this game with just 13 kills on the board. So it looks like OU is going to take bot turret as well. Claiming 2 turrets before UNI has even been able to claim 1. Even with, you know, how much they've been up in kills against OU.
Yeah, I mean, all the gold, all the kills point to UNI as being up in this game, but the map pressure that OU has with the Sivir and the Garen wave clear is insane. And as long as they can keep kind of splitting the map like this in a 1-3-1, I think they're going to do very well.
And it looks like the bot and mid lane have swapped. UNI looking to collapse here on Kale bot side. Just really not allowing the Kale to get any momentum at all this game.
Oh, and a little bit of bonus gold for the Galio with the Storm Surge proc as well. You love it.
It looks like UNI is going to spawn the Rift Herald bot side, kind of looking to claim their first tower as well. Recognizing they're probably not going to get it top, and mid is just being too contested right now.
Nocturnal going down onto the Rakan, but Rakan's so slippery. Curtain Call comes out, only 1 shot fired. Both teams kind of going to back away as that Herald is going to claim the bottom tower.
It looks like OU is going to have to answer to it before it's able to get the next tier. But we've got Dragon and Atacon spawning here about... Dragon up soon, Atacon in 30 seconds?
Yes.
So it's like UNI is going to start the Dragon, not really being contested. Not a whole lot to do.
Almost out of there, but the Storm Surge proc from Galio takes it. Sivir and Pantheon kind of trying to go down this way or on this Jhin, but Galio's just too tanky. And Bessa got in there, I think with Teleport, able to push that Sivir back. Another
off that,
2-0 for UNI.
It looks like UNI is going to be able to take this Dragon, giving them 2 dragons to OU's 1. Top side's been pushed in quite a bit by the Garen. They're going to need someone to kind of answer that. which might happen with Atacon here. We'll see, although it looks like most of UNI is bot side currently. Again, just not allowing this Kale to play the game at all.
Garen trying to spin on this Jhin. Is able to get the Strike Breaker proc. Is able to spin, but doesn't quite get the win. Good barrier out from Jhin, keeps him alive.
Yeah, the
and
shields
Garen's
there
gonna
from
recall and try it again in a minute.
the barrier and from the recon, just allowing him to get away, which is really nice for UNI as the 350 gold shutdown would not have been the best thing for UNI to see on the Garen there. So it looks like here UNI is going to kind of rotate away from bot, maybe looking to put some more pressure on mid, potentially top side. You know, as we do still have Atacon there, although Garen sees that and is going to try to split push.
Ambessa able to ult down to the Kale down to about half HP. He has to flash away. Ambessa flash to follow. Can't quite get him under the tower. Has to walk away, but that's another flash out for the Kale. You know, not even letting her farm. She has to walk so far back to avoid the Hui just to recall. So much time being spent there. But a lot of resources committed by UNI, 4 people on that top side, means that they're going to try and get the Otacon here, and OU is just going to keep their push in mid. They already got 1 tower. They might try to go for 2 here. Kale teleports in.
Just keeping in mind, I mean, it looks like, yeah, so UNI, oh, it is Ruinous. I thought you had to have more kills than that. Anyways, so the Garen is going to take next tower bot side. They aren't able to get mid off that. But, I mean, the Ruinous Otacon would have been very nice for the Kale this game, but they're just not quite able. Just not in the position to do so. It's gonna get taken down by the... Was that Pantheon ult?
I think so.
Okay, interesting. We're very hungry for the Ambessa top side. We did see... It's like both teams are kind of looking to skirmish mid here. Pantheon going to shut down the Nocturne.
More skirmishing happening here towards the Raptors. Jhin able to pick up another one. Keep being that collector monster we have. 4-0-5.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to fight here. I mean, neither team's committing too much for that fight. This poor Kale. I'm not sure if we're ever really gonna see her be able to pop off this game, just with how much UNI is just been shutting her down, keeping her out of the fights, and keeping her from, you know, farming or getting kills. It looks like Baron is gonna be spawning soon, as well as Dragon.
I just Googled how Otacon works, and I didn't realize it was this complicated.
I've read it before. I thought you had to have like 20 kills in 15 minutes for Ruinous. That's what I thought it was, but I guess my numbers are wrong.
I think maybe I think you are right. At some point it was that, but maybe they changed it slightly. Because it's based on like score. So like dealing damage or like damage to champions, nearby allies, first kills, kills against enemies under the range of a tower. Changes how much points you get, and if you have like a high score, you'll have ruinous. If you have a low score, you'll have voracious. And then the half of the map that earns the most points will be the half that Otacon spawns on, which is not how I thought that worked.
I knew that part. I knew the part about like whichever team basically has more like fighting is going to have the Otacon, but I thought like which one was solely based off kills. But I think you're right. I think it's changed because I think it wasn't spawning ruinous enough. People were like, it's always voracious. It's always voracious. So then I think they changed it.
Yeah. It's always voracious in all the esports games I watch because they, play the game correctly, and then my solo queue games are always ruinous because it's like 50 kills in 10 minutes and we're all confused.
I feel like it was the opposite of that at the start.
I think so.
Because it was because of like the changes with the lanes now. It's like it used to be like in the team settings it was a lot of kills early. Or like there's like the graph of like low timing. Okay, anyways, game.
Crazy teleports coming in here, Pantheon ult trying to go in. Garen is going to be able to pick off Ambassador, trying to look for some return, but Pantheon able to pick up Galio. Nocturnal going in to trade it over for UNI. Jhin does go down, gets shut down by the Kayle. Rakan trying to chase his way, isn't going to quite get him, and that's a 3 for 4, or 4 for 3, I guess, for OU, as they might be trying to look for more in this way, but doesn't quite look like it. Or no, excuse me, 4 for 2.
Yeah.
For OU.
Definitely a very good fight for OU, especially the Kayle. Getting some of those picks and that shutdown on the Jhin, which is going to allow her to kind of get back into the game here. Yeah, and with the Garen, just being able to take off some of those turrets, UNI's map is looking pretty open for OU.
Kayle, I believe, had the death cap completed before that fight, so she had a huge spike of AP. Looking to, believe, either do Lich Bane or Shadow Flame. I think Lich Bane makes more sense for Kayle. Garen completed his 4th item, LDR. Just a powerhouse of a spin machine. And Bessa going with the ultimate Galio following up. They are going to get pushed under the tower there, but they're going to try and keep going. Good Rakan ult, keeping the charm. Huge way damage coming in from the E and the ultimate as Jhin picks up 2 of them. And they might look for Baron? Nope, never mind. Everyone's recalling.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's pretty low, and with the Kayle and the Garen, it's still a little scary for UNI to stick around. But yeah, I mean, we had a lot of beautiful ults there from UNI. I mean, just with the Galio and the Rakan. Again, just that engage that UNI has is very nice. The Rakan is on the other side. The engage with the Galio, and then that follow-up, like with the Hui ult, with the Jhin ult. It's just very nice for team fights for UNI.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm glad we realized. Ocean Drake spawning in a little less than a minute here is going to be sole point for UNI. I think Ocean Drake on their team, because they don't have a ton of tanks, could be very beneficial in just surviving this Garen's execute range. Contrary to kind of what we saw 15 minutes ago, gold in the favor of OU, 4-tower advantage for Oklahoma, although kills still in favor of UNI.
Yeah, I think, as you had stated, just that OU's ability to clear waves, and, every time there's a team fight, they've kind of had someone off, whether it's the Garen or the Sivir or the Kale, just able to pick up those waves and just keep pushing and pushing. And, that's where they've been able to get such a huge lead on the towers.
Rakan going in with the ultimate double knock up there. Kale able to pick up both the Ambessa and the Wei. That death cap putting in so much work. Galio is going to fall to the Pantheon. Nocturne soon to follow. Gets ulted by the Garen. Jhin scurried away and has to recall. Really good engage there from Rakan. And Oklahoma going to send their jungler off to the Dragon and a 2-2 to try and split this base open. Jhin returning a lot of damage on the Sivir is going to get knocked up, but the barrier comes through. Curtain Call comes out trying to land some of that, but Kale comes up from behind and takes him down. Huge gold into this Kale now.
Yeah, I mean, earlier we saw the Kale not having any kills on the board. I think having like 1 assist with 7 deaths, and has really been able, Kale has hit, level 16. I mean, once you kind of hit that level 11 power spike, and the 2-item power spike, Kale's going to be very good, and she's been able to get these picks. Oh my gosh.
Sivir's got some fancy sneakers on. Galio has to stopwatch there. Is able to go down. Good kind of teleport flank from Galio, making sure they can't try to rush that Baron down.
Yeah, this Kale's now looking very strong, and we see it looks like she's going to build stopwatch as well. So going to be a lot more challenging to kill from this point out.
Nocturnal going down on the Rakan. Every ult is used here, trying to get something. They are able to pick him up, chasing down onto the Garen. Ambessa half health, has to back away. Too close to execute. But now, only one ultimate, the Wei ultimate, available if OU decides to pressure this. Kale splitting on the bot side, so that's something that UNI has to watch out for. Ambessa goes back.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure if it's the best Baron call from UNI with 2 open inhibs, and yeah, like you said, the split pushing bot side. I feel like UNI is just gonna have to play more defensively in this moment.
I'm not sure what happened, but it looks like we're playing off the mini-map. There we go. Ooh, Galio getting engaged on here. Play ult to kind of counter that, just hits the Pantheon. Is going to go in though. Nocturnal comes down for cover. Kale teleports in, is as fast as a Ferrari. And it doesn't look like anything's going to happen there.
No, but
that does give...
I was going to say the same thing. It does give OU the advantage there to go in on Baron, and UNI's not really going to be able to stop them.
Oh, they just take that so quick. Kale's looking for more. Flashes in onto the Jhin, not quite able to get him. The ultimate comes down. Galio's in the stopwatch. Now the rest of OU is here to back him up. And that's a lot burned by Jhin just to try and stay alive.
Early in the game, I had said, this poor Kale can't play the game. However, she was able to farm. I think, that's something we were able to see consistently across the game, is even with her deaths, she was able to keep her farm up, which is very important to getting her to this point. I mean, she's now level 18. The only person that's also level 18 is Garen. You know, UNI is behind on the levels even with the Ruinous Atacon. They're gonna try to take this fight, but Pantheon ult coming in, and it looks like the Sivir is going to be able to clean up with a nice triple kill.
And I think this is the problem of OU's draft there, or I guess UNI's draft for OU, is you can't stop them.
No,
Even if you shut down the Kale, you still have the Sivir crazy farming, you still have the Garen farming. That there isn't enough to stop everything. So that is going to be game 1 over to University of Oklahoma. We're going to prep for game 2 here. And with how that game went, I'm curious what kind of adaptations we might see to the draft for both teams.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what changes are going to come out. You know, are we going to see the Garen ban, the Pantheon ban, Kale ban, Sivir? Not entirely sure. Or is UNI still very scared of, you know, that 80 carry player from OU? I have a feeling. I don't think OU's bans will change, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think so. It seemed like they had pretty good answers to kind of everything that they let UNI have. Maybe not in the sense of like team fighting, but just in dealing with pressure and everything.
Are there any champions that you've never seen UNI play that you would like to see them play?
Oh, that is a great question. I don't know if I've never seen them play this, and I know Backlit has some
say
experience
rarely.
on
Okay.
this champion, but I would always love to see Ivern. I will never complain about seeing an Ivern.
I feel like that would make for an interesting. I feel like Backlit, especially, just as he normally plays like the carry champions, so having him on Ivern would make for a very interesting. Have we seen? I feel like we've seen that this semester,
Did we?
but
Oh man, I don't remember.
I feel like I'm trying to remember because I feel like it was like I was like that's an interesting pick, but maybe it was something I don't know. My memory with what people play is terrible, as we have learned. But I'm just also going with a Backlit pick because I've seen him play it before and it's my main. I would love to see the Ari so much. I would love to see the Ari mid. Do I think we're ever going to see it? Probably not. But I would love to see it.
I think that would be kind of a really strong pick into a lot of what we've seen played against them. Yeah, Ari is really strong. I think
Yes.
you know if someone wanted to get interesting with Ivern and build, I don't know, full AP or something like that in the jungle, I think that'd be pretty good too. You know, I've seen results in solo queue. I've been doing it myself. It works. Recently, I think it was this season, I fully committed to being an Ivern one trick. And like I changed my name to an Ivern pun.
An
And
Ivern pun?
yeah.
Do we get to hear this pun?
So you know how Faker's username in the Korean server is hide on bush?
I did not know that, but continue.
Okay. His username in the Korean server is hide on bush. And since Ivern makes bushes, I say my name is hide in brush.
Beautiful. We love it. My username doesn't have a pun, but it does have Ari in the tag. I find, we're very similar. We both have our one tricks and would love to see it be played.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and I do have, so it says Ari, and then in Chinese, it's like the character, a word that is similar to like main or like one trick. Or, yeah.
I miss when they had the like the clans or whatever, where you could have like a tag after your name that would like show up in game or something.
I feel like I remember that, but I never like did it because it was when it was a while back. I do enjoy it on Rocket League, however, entirely different game. I played on a team for a UNI tournament once, and I still have the exact same tag in Rocket League. I feel like all games should have that. Like it's just kind of silly and fun.
Absolutely. And then you have crazy people who think of ridiculous tags, and that's
true.
great. So
Are we in the correct draft? Just checking.
I'm not sure. I did see that Black Ultra did say you and I will take red side for this. So there we go. That looks better. But
okay, still waiting.
we're still waiting. Probably another bathroom break. Ugh.
They gotta stay hydrated, you know? I did hear Cho'Gath mid is very strong right now. And I think it would be very funny if one of the teams went Cho'Gath.
Oh. Gross.
Speaking of top laners in any lane but their own.
Yep.
No, I do not enjoy playing into Cho'Gath mid at all.
I don't enjoy playing into Cho'Gath. Period. Doesn't matter where he is. If I see him, I don't want to be near him.
Oh my
there
gosh.
there are some champions we should still social distance from, and I think Cho'Gath is one of them.
Just looking at my Discord says I am at 5,000 ping. Is my voice breaking up at all?
Not to me. Mine also
Okay.
says it's at 5,000 ping.
So it's Discord. Got it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the university network was like, oh, here we go again.
Oh, it's a Discord issue.
I feel like the university network has been having a lot of technical issues this semester, but
Really?
yeah, quite a few.
I wouldn't know. I do remember like when I first went to UNI, I was like taken aback at how fast. I thought like the concept of having Wi-Fi like everywhere you go was so cool, like around
Mhm.
campus. I was like, whoa,
Yeah, it's very convenient.
it is. It doesn't always work the best, but it is very
No.
convenient.
All right, third time's the charm here for draft, maybe?
Oh,
Looks
things
like
are
it.
moving.
Igneous seems very excited.
All right, looks like OU's sticking with the Lucian ban. Let's see if UNI sticks with her 80 carry bans or if they're gonna change anything up here. Definitely taking their time, meticulously planning who they are going to ban first. It looks like we do see the 80 carry bans coming out. We see the Jinx, and we do see the Galio ban from OU. I'm curious to see if we have backlit on mid again, or if he's going to be playing tank.
Yeah, and so far for UNI, same ban as we had
Jungle.
last game. OU though, Lucian ban first, still same. Galio ban instead of the Seraphine. I don't want to jinx it, but there's an angle. There's an angle. Pantheon
Uh,
can be banned away by UNI.
I do like the Pantheon ban. I don't know exactly how strong Pantheon was last game, but I just know I do not like playing into Pantheon.
I shouldn't have said anything.
However, the Xerath is still on the table. I will throw that out there.
You're right, the Xerath is still available. I think getting Jin Xerath first and second pick on red side will be kind of strong for UNI, but also very telling.
So we do see the Garen first pick from OU.
Another Damasabra, always there. I'm anxious to see what UNI has in response to this Garen, because it didn't feel like the Ambessa worked quite as well as they were hoping.
Ooh, all right, Urgot.
Oh.
It worked well last time. At least last time I was here.
Yeah, was it Art of Jake we talked to a couple weeks ago who played the Urgot?
Yeah, I believe so, yes. All right, I'm feeling it. Jin Xerath. We're gonna see the Xerath pick from UNI.
Xerath.
Third pick. Yes, Xerath. Ooh, all right. The misfortune coming out from OU, which was something UNI had banned last game. And it looks like OU is going to capitalize on UNI not banning it this time around. Oof, and the
Oh.
Amumu.
I wonder where this sad mummy is going to go, because we saw for a while like a Mumu support was a thing. Kind of not really anymore, but it wouldn't shock me.
It would shock me. I'm fully expecting a Mumu jungle, but you
Nah,
know?
Mumu support.
Okay. Misfortune of Mumu. I can see it.
Yeah, we had the support item reworks, one of them a while ago, and like Camille support was a thing, Mumu support. I think Scion support was played a couple times. Set and Shen definitely. Just again, top laners where they shouldn't be.
Ugh,
We included junglers as well.
Set is another one. I do not like to see anywhere. So looks like UNI is gonna come around with the Recon ban. And we see the Nocturne ban, which we had seen pretty much every game before this game. So it makes sense we're seeing it again. Nami ban is interesting. I mean, Nami is strong still, so I guess I don't want to see the Nami with the misfortune.
Yeah, that would make sense. Seeing as OU bans Lucian, though, I guess I wasn't seeing any angle for like a Nami, but Nami's good with so many things. So
The Udyr ban is interesting. Maybe so. I think. I don't know.
We can't switch around our lanes anymore. Oh no.
Oh boy. I am excited to see this game already.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. New locked in for UNI. We saw this a couple weeks ago. I want to say it was backlit piloting the new.
Raka. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think I'm pretty sure that's what we saw.
Ooh, Soraka locked in for OU. That's gonna make dealing with this Jhin Xerath bot lane a little bit easier. Though you do have to watch out for Soraka's health pool. Because if that gets too low, then she's a very easy pick.
Ragus.
Yes! Lock him in!
Wait.
I'll take it! It's not Ivern, but I'll take it.
So, Gragas is mid?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta say that's not something I see very often. Azir.
I don't know if that's the play into Gragas. To be honest, I don't know what the play into Gragas is. But Azir's locked in. So a lot of AP coming through on the side of UNI. And a good mix coming out from OU. Oh, let me grab a screenshot of that.
Smart.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see everything we have here from UNI. I'm excited to see the Urgot. I'm excited to see the Jhin Xerath, the Nunu. I feel like we've seen these years before because I swear I remember saying that I respect Azir players because I think he is difficult to play.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this from UNI. I feel like it's a very comfortable comp for them to go. And it looks like it's the Dalai Lama again on jungle and backlit. I was gonna say because I feel like Azir is a backlit champ.
We've definitely seen some Suriman shuffles this semester, and not just the dance move.
Yeah, and then oh yeah. Sticking with the same, pretty much what we expected. Garen top, Amumu jungle, Gragas mid, Misfortune, and Soraka bot side. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see some cool Azir plays here.
Backlit better have some crazy insects, or he might be banished to Udyr again. I don't know. Whoever is playing Sarah in comp needs to stop ASAP so they don't ban. I think there might be a day at some point, maybe, where we have Seraphine not banned. But sadly, this game is not that game.
This game is for sure not that game. It's gotta be. Is it Gency that's on support?
Yes.
Okay. Ugh. I know. I remember back when throw us real back here when Bill was playing mid lane. Oh, Mr. Sir Claps. You would have loved to have seen it. It was Seraphine mid not every game, but almost every game was the UNI special. I'm sure there's some. Actually, I don't know if any of those VODs were on YouTube, but maybe.
They might be. I know some of our VODs from last semester weren't saved, which, kind of sucks, but also I'm very relieved about, because the last game I casted last semester, I did it with Igneous. It was a 6-hour cast because it was like the NECC bracket finals or whatever. And oh, that was exhausting.
Ah, yes, the day. I know. Yes, I've done a couple days full of casting before, and it's pretty tiring. Uh, yeah, I've done a couple with like the Rocket League, which is in person, which is a whole other level
Oh,
of yeah, I don't think they're having a Rocket League tournament this year. But we have done Rocket League tournaments in the past, and AP Karis Sarah goes hard. Just reading the comment. But yeah. Anything more than I feel like even 3 hours, especially if League, I'm ready to be done.
yeah. It was 6 hours of League, and it was just me. So
Yeah, that's
it was
also pretty
it
brutal,
was
not having
bad.
someone to bounce off of. Oh yes, the Hillbilly Gragas, pool party misfortune. This is
See,
great.
we have the opportunity, and I'm sad. We could have had KDA Gragas, or I guess Super Fan.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as soon as I saw the Gragas lock in. I was just kind of hoping that's what we were gonna get to see, but guess not.
It is going to be the Comet for the Gragas. I know there are a few rune choices for him, but Comet, sorry, definitely going to give him that little extra damage, especially in the laning phase. As once again, OU going to look for a 4-man into the jungle, trying to just get some information, probably place a ward or two. I love it when that happens.
Yeah, it's like UNI realizes, they've got their wards there. Yeah, OU definitely making use of their wards early game, you know, get that vision, kind of figure out where UNI is going to be and where they need to be, either to respond or where they can kind of engage off of that. I know, again, with the Nunu, he's going to have lots of mobility, lots of movement around the map compared to the Amumu.
Yeah, I think that's one thing we didn't see last game, which is normally, I think, pretty standard for UNI, is having such a large jungle impact. Whereas it feels like Pantheon just got the better of Nocturne in presence last game.
It's like both junglers are going to be starting top side, you know, probably looking to go bot for that first fight. Both teams bot side just kind of picking each other out. We've got lots of poke here from both sides, lots of range, lots of back and forth.
Chunk damage going down to Soraka. Not quite in range of Misfortune for the Guardian proc. I do like both supports here opting to take heal instead of exhaust like last game. I think that's a very good change in just being able to survive some of the poke and the fighting here on top of the barrier from the 80s.
Nunu is going to be coming in bot side before the Amumu is kind of able to get there. Is going to have to more react, though not able to get much off that snowball, and it's going to back off. I guess we did see the flash come out from Soraka.
Nunu rolling into this bot lane. Amumu here to respond though. Snowball is going to go a little bit wide, but Soraka gets rooted up. Nunu's committing, trying to get something down, but is going to get taken down by the Amumu First Blood over to Oklahoma. As Jin is going to be able to get away.
Sticking around, lands the bandage onto the Jin, and the Jin is going to go down, really putting UNI behind bot side in these first few minutes. Looks like Dragon is going to be spawning about 30 seconds, putting OU in a pretty good position, kind of set up for that.
Top lane going a little more evenly than last game. I think the Urgot is able to keep up with this Garen just a little bit better than Ambessa. As trade comes out here, pretty even, but Amumu is here, maybe looking to tower dive, although he's just going to back away, probably looking to just set up those grubs now.
Yeah, I think, you know, in terms of like the Urgot, the Ambessa, the Garen, I think last game the Ambessa was maybe a pick into the Kale.
Yeah.
Thinking maybe it was like going to be Garen jungle or something. But yeah, no, I think the Urgot is much more of a comfort pick, and it's just, as we can see, it's going a lot smoother. We'll see if they're able to keep that up. Here is Void Grub spawn. It looks like Amumu's top side, looking to go in on this Garen here with the snowball.
is going to land on the Garen. Nunu not quite 6, but Urgot does have the Fear Beyond Death, is going to miss. Garen flashes away from that. And I don't think Garen is forced to recall here because of the passive, but Mumu is bot side, so it looks like it's going to be a window for UNI to pick up grubs and just trade that for the early dragon.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty smart for UNI, just kind of put more pressure on that top side, just bot being kind of behind right now, allowing them to kind of catch up while their bot side goes to help with the dragon. Like both teams, we're getting pretty close to everyone hitting 6 here. As we've seen in the past, you know, with the, I was gonna call them global ults, but not really global ults from the Xerath and the Jhin, just more very large range ultimate, and kind of, you know, how they're gonna be able to capitalize off these for this fight. I think, or for this game, is gonna be very important to kind of setting the tone. Same thing with that Misfortune and the Soraka. We do see Misfortune come out, not able to get much. Although kind of forcing the Jhin and Xerath to back off just a little bit.
And another thing, as Nunu tries to go in the flip, trying to get into the snowball, ultimate coming through to slow the Garen isn't quite enough. Fear Beyond Death does hit almost close to the execute range. Urgot flashes in and is able to take that one. Good pick there for UNI.
And we do see Soraka heal come out there as well. I'm not sure if that was to help the Urgot or if that was just to kind of keep him afloat bot side.
Soraka's on the other team.
To help the Garen, not the Urgot.
I'll call it out a little early this time. The Gragas tag coming out mid lane is able to pick up the kill on the Azir. I am in awe of that combo because I'm never able to do it. And I so badly want to do it. It's so cool.
Gonna say, it looks like we're getting pretty low here bot side. UNI, we're gonna capitalize that, although the Soraka does flash. She uses both heal and flash, so down both summoners to the Xerath ult. Looks like both people everyone bot side's pretty low. Looks like UNI is gonna stick around, maybe clean up the wave and head back. So it looks like, I think we called it out. So OU did take the first 3 kills of the game, giving them the first feat of strength. Both teams still have 1 objective, so not quite close to see who will be getting that one next.
Oh, good Azir shuffle, getting Gragas back into that tower. Is going to flash in a little bit of healing from the passive. Soraka able to catch up there. And Amumu flashes in and is going to take down the Azir. Nunu not quite close enough to help. Has to flash away from another bandage grab there.
Great
Good
awareness
from OU, yeah.
Yeah, great pick, great awareness coming from OU there. You know, really able to clean up that kill and help the Gragas, not giving the Azir really any agency there. Being pretty down this time around, kind of the opposite of what we saw last game. And it looks like OU is going to claim Grubs, giving them their second objective, leaving this dragon to be pretty desired by both teams. UNI not wanting OU to get that feat of strength, OU wanting to be able to claim it off this dragon.
And an important thing to note, neither team getting that 4 grub buff to spawn the little grub might or whatever it's called. So no super split push with that buff there. But oh, good cast from Gragas, able to push back the Nunu. I feel like this Gragas is way too good at this Gragas. Just from what we've seen.
Yeah, he's had quite a few really nice plays. You know, really being able to kite everything and.
Well, good deadly flourish forces the flash out. Ultimate's coming down. Soraka ultimate able to heal him up. Amumu in there to kind of protect him. Nunu tries to chomp something and get away. It's going to go down to Misfortune. OU chasing. Jin flashing in, trying to get onto the Misfortune, but the 4th shot either doesn't do damage or hit a minion or something.
Yeah,
Oh no, it did damage. Soraka just healed him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think UNI's just being out-healed by that Soraka. I mean, she's been very able to, you know, get those heals in exactly when she needs to, and UNI just really hasn't been able to focus her down, and yeah, lots of very good Soraka plays from OU.
And that is going to be the 3rd neutral objective going over to OU, giving them super boots. Which I think them having super boots is great for OU more than normal, because now Nunu doesn't have super boots, which we don't want that thing to be any faster. Despite such a kill lead going over to OU, CS pretty even across the board with just slight advantages. About 20 CS to their top and ADC. Misfortune, first item, was able to get the Bloodthirster, so gonna have even more life steal and healing on top of a Soraka, as Amumu and Nunu meet in the jungle. That feels like a tongue twister. Amumu and Nunu.
Yeah, this
down. We're got flash over the wall trying to get him. Fear Beyond Death is gonna pick up the Amumu. Garen just kind of gonna walk back and forth a little bit, not wanting to commit.
Yeah, so
Sorry,
it's like,
I cut you off a lot.
No, you're good. It was an interesting play going on. I was just gonna say, it looks like the Nunu was able to get the red buff there, giving both himself and Urgot then the buff, and also used it to heal, kind of giving them the advantage in that fight. A little bit of a misplay from OU. Maybe getting a little too hungry for UNI.
Oh. Not quite the Gragas tech we saw before, but still a lot of damage going down to the Azir. Misfortune ult hits a lot of Xerath. Big chunk for damage there, as Jin gets run down there. Not quite able to get killed, but Nunu coming in with the snowball. Urgot teleport from behind. So much healing coming out from the Soraka. And Amumu's in there to try and back him up, but Misfortune does fall, Soraka does fall, and now they're trying to clean up the Amumu. 3 for 0 for UNI, but a lot committed, and Garen is able to pick up top tower during that fight.
Yeah, UNI was able to come out on top, you know, focusing down that misfortune first. I'm not as well versed in exactly what you're supposed to do in League, but I know in, like just with my experience with Overwatch and like FPSs, I feel like I'm starting to get just a little worried not seeing UNI focus that Soraka, just with how much like she's been able to heal and stay alive and how long she's been able to sustain. Like yes, they were able to pull it off in that fight, but I feel like if that trend continues, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a little bit dangerous for UNI.
Yeah, and I feel, to go along with that, I feel like the itemization is a little bit wonky from UNI. I would really like to see the Xerath pick up an Oblivion Orb like 7 minutes ago. And having the Jhin with Executioners is an option. It does provide grievous wounds, but it's on one of the slowest attacking characters in the game. So it's not going to do that much.
Misfortune is so speedy.
How that character is allowed to be so fast, but Soraka gets rooted up under the tower, gets taken down. Fear Beyond Death, top lane, another good pick for UNI there. As Jhin is able to pick up both the Misfortune and Soraka, that Collector execute range coming in huge, but Misfortune able to do so much raw damage is able to trade back the Jhin. Oh, good flash aways there out there.
Drog is hitting bot side, kind of allowing Azir maybe to push in mid. The Urgot is going to take mid tower. It looks like UNI is also going to take the Rift Herald as OU is going to go for Dragon. We've got maybe a fight here mid. How much does it looks like they are going to kind of beeline towards the Dragon. UNI not wanting to give OU their third Dragon, although they are going to take it.
They're gonna get it anyway. Azir on a 3v1 there. Shuffles away, but doesn't shuffle quite hard enough. He's gonna end up boogieing back to Fountain. Kills getting pretty equalized here. UNI up by 1. Gold lead for UNI by about 2k. But all of the objectives, and by that I mean just 3 dragons, going in favor of OU here. And Garen able to pick up another tower. This split push pressure is just so insane.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where UNI is going to drop this Herald that they have picked up. Probably mid, just because it's pushed in the most.
Jhin trying to step outside that hitbox, but just a little too wonky. And Voracious Otacon bot lane. So now this is your low kill game you were wanting.
But this game, I'm pretty sure they have more kills at this point than they had last game.
Exactly.
So it's that whole like point system thing, whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Urgot bot.
This Urgot has been going insane. Ultimate marked on the Soraka is able to pick up the Fear Beyond Death. Good pick going over to UNI. This Urgot has been utilizing his teleport so well in this game.
And it looks like
And
UNI
Otacon's
has
a little angry.
realized the threat of the Soraka, just wanting to get her out, you know, kind of before that fight even starts now. Hopefully we get to see that continue.
Nunu rolling into Amumu here in the jungle, but Amumu's so tanky. The what happens?
Oh my gosh.
Soraka all coming down. Jhin all missing on this Nunu. Azir is going to pick that one up, but Misfortune's going to trade back jungle for jungler here. As Soraka's heals go insane, Gragas is going all over, and Garen's here.
Oh, the Garen!
The shuffle into the pit. Garen gets picked up by Jin. This is one of the scrappiest fights I think I've seen. Misfortune goes down, Azir's low. Soraka can't quite heal everything. Jin is going to pick up a triple kill in this fight.
Can he get the quad? Can he count to 4? The Gragas
true
mid.
test of a Jin player.
It looks like Gragas is going to chase him, although I think we might be up before.
I wish I could rewind on the Twitch stream because I want to see what happened. Because the Gragas cask should have knocked should have knocked the Urgot away. And I don't think Amumu did the bandage toss. So is Urgot just so lore accurate, strong that he's able to power through a bottle of, or a cask of beer? So many weird interactions this game.
Looks like UNI is going to summon the Herald mid. Yep, as I kind of called earlier, that tower is just so low. It could potentially be easy to pick. But yeah, the Herald does not even get to make it to the tower. Although, if he had gone in the Herald, I feel like they would have been able to get it.
Yeah. Poor Shelly. Gragas cast knocking away the Nunu, but not knocking away the snowball. But still getting out. Okay, maybe I don't like seeing Gragas in these games because there's too many interactions that I can't explain. Oh, flash away from the Jin, still getting hit by the Amumu ult. The second toss of the Q goes in. A lot of healing coming down. Jin finally getting taken down by the Misfortune ultimate, but Xerath able to trading back the jungler there. As Azir teleports in. And Gragas is just kind of left up on that top side for farm. Hopefully he doesn't push in too far, but UNI is going to start up this dragon.
Yeah, and this is a dragon that, both teams really want to take. So Soraka looked like she was going to try, but, not quite able to do a whole lot as she was solo. UNI is going to stop them from getting Soul, at least for another fight. Still got quite a few more dragons to take, however. Be able to match them. So looks like UNI is going to be kind of resetting here as Baron spawns. I don't think either team are really in a position to take it, but because Adacon is still bot side as well. Just waiting. I think it's very rare you see Adacon taken, like, in a timely manner. It's usually a lot later into the game, I feel.
Yeah, I feel like it just does so much damage. Oh, and there goes Soraka. Anyways, I feel like it does so much damage that you have to be pretty itemized to try and take it down.
Yeah, itemized and in a good position as well. Looks like this Garen potentially getting caught out, although he's Garen, so he might be able to run away.
How is he faster than Nunu? I don't get it. No.
Looks like with that, UNI is going to try to take Adacon here with Garen being the only one there right now, although Amumu potentially looking to set up. But it looks like UNI is going to take it, kind of giving them more fighting power here. I guess kind of in these...
They see him rolling, but he gets stopped.
still unable to claim that mid turret. It's so low. Are the thorns around the turrets new? Or
No. I think
Okay.
they've been there the whole game. I feel like they have.
I mean, like new, like not like this game, but just like
Oh,
recent, like in League.
yeah. Since the start of the season, they added that in.
Okay, I guess I just had not noticed it before.
A lot of pressure going down on this tier 1 tower. Huge cask, able to separate the Nunu. Keep them off of that tower. Oh, Deadly Flourish is going to root up Kragus. A lot of healing coming through. Poor shot, gonna land on Soraka, but not quite enough damage. And then there comes Xerath ultimate, looking for the Soraka, trying to take her out of the fight. Is gonna get interrupted by Garen though, as a good shuffle from the wall keeps him alive. And oh, Urgot really going in, landing the Fear Beyond Death, is gonna pick it up because of a Comet proc from Xerath.
Yeah, UNI very much able to capitalize, really using that Voracious Adacon to take advantage of that fight. As you know, so when you do get a pick on a player who has the Voracious Adacon, whatever, Guardian Angel Resurrection buff, it doesn't really count as a kill. So UNI definitely coming ahead, very much so in that fight, able to take Baron. Nice attempt from the Gragas though to try and steal it. Looks like both teams are gonna get ready here for Dragon, wanting to set it up again. UNI not wanting to give that position, that soul to OU. I forgot about the Azure towers. UNI is going to claim their second dragon, and they're able to take out Soraka and kind of collapse in here bot side on the Garen and then Mumu as well.
And this is kind of what I was hoping to see out of UNI last game. You know, Garen not having a lot of impact this game, not having to worry about a Kale or a super scale Sivir. And being able to take these kill leads and convert them into these objectives.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at where the game is now compared to where it was about 15 minutes ago, I mean, UNI has completely turned the tide in terms of kills. And I think, you know,
Sorry, I got surprised that this year got popped.
I was looking to see if we got, you know, more coming, and it looks like the Nunu is going to engage. The Jhin is just able to shut down anything that OU has been throwing at them.
I definitely think this Urgot was a really good pick going into this Oklahoma team. Being able to stop that Garen. You know, we didn't see any tabs or I think that really shut down that part of it. Oh, there goes Xerath.
Yeah, so as I was gonna say before that fight broke out. Oh, I should not have spoken. I thought the game was over. Never mind. So it looks like OU is gonna survive with their Nexus not having a lot of health. Taking out all of those Baron buffs on UNI, looking to hang in there, stay in the game. Gonna have to go kind of more on the defensive here, but they are able to stick around for another fight.
And with this season, we do have the respawning Nexus turrets,
Yes.
which can give OU a little bit of breathing room, but I believe it's like 3 minutes until they spawn, so still have to be careful.
I was going to say, but they kept having team fights. I couldn't finish. Is what we had seen like early game. The game seemed very much in favor of, or at least like the lanes were in favor of OU, but UNI was really able to turn that around. I mean, if we look at the kills on UNI, just looking at the Jhin here, picking up 16 kills. Out of those 26, having 5 assists, was just really, really able to put a lot of power into their Jhin and into their Urgot, being able to pick up anything that the Jhin was not able to get, which, just kind of showing how much UNI really knows how to play this comp.
Oh, big fight going down there. Misfortune able to pick up 2. Garen executed the Nunu earlier, but Jhin able to pick up a return kill as Azir just going in, hitting the neck, and bringing us to match point for UNI versus OU.
I was gonna say, it looked like, it talked about like the turrets coming back, and UNI was really not looking to win the team fight there. They knew there was not a lot of health left on that turret. They just needed to get in there and be able to smack it enough times to take it out. And second game going to UNI, bringing us to 1-1 as we go into another 3-match or 3-game match, 3-match game.
Something like that. Yeah, close enough. Another long night.
Yeah, it's another long night. I know, I could tell I'm starting to get a little bit tired, but it's fine.
Yeah. Sadly, it's not at like a point in the semester where I'm okay having coffee this late at night, because like I still got some homework to do, but it's nowhere near finals or midterms, so I probably shouldn't do that. I think Oklahoma going into this third game draft definitely is not going to let that Xerath through again.
No. I have a feeling we're going to see Xerath, Jhin, and Urgot banned. That's my guess.
And something I've been kind of disappointed to see in the past couple games has been Jin's performance. Like last game was really good, but a couple weeks ago he was hitting those W's like crazy, just getting these insane roots off, and his ultimates were on point. And these last couple games just haven't felt as accurate for him. So hoping that if Jhin is let through a third time, that he's able to bring back that precision we've seen before.
I know. I guess another thing I'm curious about is if we're going to have the same, we've seen uh, Backlit and the Dalai Lama switch around their position. Although this game, it looks like it's pretty much been Dolly on jungle and Backlit on mid lane. Curious to see if they're going to keep that for this third game or if they're going to switch things up at all. However, with Backlit on mid, he could very much play Ari. Just throwing that out there.
We're hoping, but if he goes jungle, he could play Ivern. Gotta keep our option. I do think an Ari pick would be very helpful for UNI, because we've seen, like, especially with Backlit on Azir, just having that extra little bit of mobility and potential there has, I think, been really impactful, more so than something like Galio, where you're kind of a little bit too committed to things. So I do think Ari would be a really good pick, just being able to get in and out and still have consistent damage.
I don't think we're going to see it. I do think it would be nice, and I do think it would be, some damage. I think, from what we've seen, I feel like UNI, for at least for like their mid laners, really likes to pick champions that have like an AoE ability or an AoE ult. Like with that Galio, with the Azir, with, I think what we've seen in the past, like the Asol. I guess the Asol was bot. Victor. Just lots of not necessarily like single target, but multi-target capabilities.
Yeah. And I know this is kind of like especially back in season 8 and 9, when like Camille could be a jungler, you would see Camille Galio a lot and just have a lot of AoE and be able to like make a death cage. And you don't see that a lot anymore, but I think UNI is still trying to channel the death cage. So
Well, I wonder if we're going to get invited to a third game.
I think that would be nice if it happened. I definitely wouldn't complain.
Maybe the players needed another break, realizing they're going to be going into a third match of the night.
Man, I'm jealous for the players. I feel like I need a break.
Game lobby is full.
Hmm.
What?
Yippee.
All right. So it looks like, by the way things are set up currently, they are going to keep Backlit mid, Dalai Lama, jungle.
Mm-hmm. Which?
So I wonder if we're gonna see the Amumu, or not Amumu, the Nunu ban this time around instead of the Nocturne.
And I believe it was a couple weeks ago when we casted that Dally played a really good game of Udyr. So if something like the Nunu gets banned away, that I feel like that's a good go-to option there.
Yeah, we did see uh the Udyr band last time around, which I thought was interesting because I believe it was like he didn't pick the Udyr until the Nunu had been banned.
Mhm.
But yes, Udyr is an option uh, if the Nunu gets banned.
Um, I don't know if this rule is the same here as it is in like LEC or LCS, um, or LTA, I guess. But I do believe that the loser gets side selection in a best of series. Um, we saw last game UNI opting for red side, and that brought them the win. Um, OU opting to take this red side now. Um, Curious as to why they chose red side over blue side.
Yeah, that is an interesting observation. I don't know if there's like skewed statistics in the sides or if the players are just more comfortable or if it's a jungle thing in the current meta.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like for red side, because we didn't see it basically at all last game, Garen can proxy a little bit easier on that blue side as opposed to going through like a red jungle. But I kind of don't want to see that.
I'm like Googling to see if there's any difference, just like in general. This was from 8 months ago, though, so not accurate anymore. But I guess 8 months ago there was a 6% win rate gap between blue and red side.
Oh,
But that was 8 months ago, so not currently with red side having the advantage. And I guess historically red side has had an advantage in higher MMR,
hmm.
high elo.
What was that? There is something in the patch notes, I think at the start of the season, that had to do with minions, and it got me down like a really long rabbit hole. And apparently, the minions for both sides were um, had different stats at one point. So it's like
What?
the blue minions had like a little bit more range than the red ones, but the red ones did like a tiny bit more damage, or it was like something very minute,
That's
but it was
crazy. I
different and it was weird.
feel like that would be. I feel like last hitting is hard enough if the minions were different depending on what side you were on.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, hey, you don't have to last hit anything with your jungle, so another plus there. I'm just hearing more wins for Ivern. That's it.
I'm curious as to why both teams said that they were ready for draft like 5 minutes ago. Um,
world may never know.
Late. What?
Like,
All right, we were just forgotten.
wow.
All right. Well, these are very
All right,
interesting.
good draft, guys. Good draft.
Picks as we go in here. What are we looking at? UNI has Garen and Cassante?
So
Who's
none of
mid?
what we speculated happened. Seraphine still got banned.
Wait, and oh,
Huh?
what are we looking at? This is a wild. Okay, so you and I had the same. Okay, wait, screenshot, so we can talk about this during
Yep, got it.
during the time. So, you and I drafted the Garen. They banned the Kog'Maw Pantheon Jinx as they've done in the past.
Mhm.
OU banned Lucian, Seraphine, Galio as they've done in the past.
Mhm.
Allowing UNI to continue with the Jhin Zareth, the Mordekaiser, Jin Shao, and Misfortune. I mean, Misfortune, I mean, we saw last game. I think that's a very comfortable pick for OU. The Mordekaiser and Jin Shao, I'm very interested to see
The
how this plays
Sona
out.
pick to me feels weird because I don't think Soraka was necessarily the weak point last game, and Sona just
No.
feels like a worse Soraka if they're going for pure heals. But I guess there's like the stun from the ultimate stuff, but
Well, there's the
I
stun
don't
and
know.
the speed, but I don't know who really benefits from the speed, other than I guess just Misfortune being extra speedy.
She doesn't need more speed.
I find it really interesting. OU picked up the Azir this time. I don't
Mhm.
feel like Azir has played that much, so I'm like, I guess just interested to see, like how much we've seen. The Cassante as well. Is it Cassante mid? Who's played Cassante? That's what we need to know.
I My gut is telling me that it's Cassante top because that feels better into the Mordekaiser, but I'm probably wrong because UNI's team just makes no sense 90% of the time, so I'm always wrong.
Yeah, the Garen over. I liked the Urgot. I don't know. I'm so confused. Um, I mean, it must be, I guess, just whatever's good into Mordekaiser. Because would OU have had the first pick or UNI?
UNI would have had the first pick.
And they picked Garen. And OU picked. All right.
I guess they really don't want OU to have it, but don't feel like wasting a ban. They can take one, but you know.
That is funny that Seraphine was banned. Again. Uh,
But You know, we did kind of call it a little bit. Nunu gets banned, we pick Udyr. So
That's true. Both the Nocturne and the Nunu did get banned, and then the Udyr came out. That's very true. Okay, it is Cassante top. Backlit is gonna be on the Garen. Alright, Garen mid. Into Azir.
that's kind of close to Ari, right?
Garen is basically Ari, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I absolutely loathed playing into Jin Zhao like in 2018 for whatever reason. I feel like I saw him a lot, and I feel like I have not seen him in a game since. So I'm very
Yeah.
I guess just interested to see him being played.
He's definitely not as common as he used to be.
Yeah, and Cassante, I feel like Cassante is just not played very much as well.
The thing about Cassante is he's been nerfed into the ground so much, but he's still so viable just because his kit is so obnoxious. It's annoying. I played Cassante in Arena, I think a couple days ago, and I could just turn my brain off because
As someone who's played more TFT than League, I tend to judge, especially like the newer characters, in League based off how they are in TFT. And Cassante is about the same in League as he is in TFT, or at least as he's been in the past, where wouldn't do a whole lot, but was very, very, very annoying in previous sets.
Wasn't Cassante like a legendary in TFT where he would just
There was like the set I'm thinking about specifically was a while back, but his like ability would knock you back, and if you would like 3-star him, or like if he could get you like near the edge, he would just like kick your character off the board, and if you got him 3-starred, he would just kick everyone off the board, and so it was a very very annoying. But he would do nothing. Like if you couldn't like position him correctly, then he was totally useless and did nothing. But like maybe sometimes he would just kick your carry off the board. It's like, welp.
lovely. That's TFT is something I've never been super great at, mainly just because like I suck at trying to manage my gold. I'm just like, ooh, I'm real close to a 2-star. Better keep rolling.
Oh yes. I haven't played like season 10, which was out a year ago from now, was like probably the best TFT's ever been. And it's been hard to like play it since then because it was just so good. Sante was also in that set, although he was not as annoying as the other time. Right. Something in here. You know, if I had to guess, I feel like OU is going to look to place a ward in UNI's bot side jungle.
Oh, that's kind of crazy. I don't know about that one.
It looks like maybe UNI has guessed that as well. Maybe they're
We might
getting
have a
ready
little
for
level
it.
1 skirmish, which would be very amazing.
30 seconds.
They are going to face check this
Alright.
push. He's taking a lot of damage. Is going to fall to the Xerath, picks up first blood. And that's huge for UNI. Good read there on the ward idea.
Yeah, UNI said, how does the saying go? Shame me once, fool me, or fool me once.
What? Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
tired, but you get the gist. They weren't gonna fall for it a third time. They said, guys, listen, we gotta stop them. And they did just that. So it looks like both teams are still gonna be starting bot side.
So good.
Which probably means we're gonna be looking to see an gank top or mid, which could be interesting. Ah yes, Ignition. Fool me once, shame on. Wait. Gotta open this now.
We still won't get it right.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. And then it's like fool me a third time, and I feel like the third one like changes, like depending on how like brutal or how appropriate you want to be.
Only 3 times get first blooded in a book.
Yes. It looks like Kasava is gonna be. Is Mordekaiser pretty strong early?
Apparently. I mean, yeah, the passive does so much damage if you're able to get that built up. Although I really miss old Mordekaiser. Because my favorite thing to do would be build full AP, full burn, and just ult someone at full health, and 20 seconds later, I would get a kill. But University of Oklahoma able to put their top laner on another lane bully, hoping to recreate the success they had with Garen from game 1. Bot lane kind of tame for right now, so they're pretty low on mana though.
So it looks like Jin Zhao's gonna back here, kind of coming back with an item advantage as Vera has stayed bot side, you know, maybe looking to take Scuttle and apply some pressure on OU's bot side. He's gonna go in on the Misfortune, and it looks like we do get the flash from the Misfortune from that bot side.
I really like Dali on this Ood here. He's kind of wild. This feels weird. There's not a lot happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, kind of the typical back and forth of the early game. We did see a lot more kills last time around at this point, I believe.
Yeah. One thing.
Yeah, maybe.
No,
You
go
can
ahead.
I was gonna say maybe, you know, with Dragon coming up here, maybe we'll see a little bit more action bot side or top side or mid with dragon, grubs, objectives coming online.
One thing of note to me is the rune choice for the Azir. Last game when you and I picked it, we had lethal tempo, so a lot better in those long extended fights, whereas the Azir for Oklahoma is running Hail of Blades, so a lot better in those short trades, but not as powerful in some of these team fights. As 3-man top here on this Mordekaiser. Doesn't have flash, does have ghost though. He's gonna ult the Cassante. Cassante not level 6, Zin's out dealing with the Garen. Just kind of waiting for this ultimate to expire. Is going to stun down the Garen. Ghost is going to be used, but Garen is able to pick up the Mordekaiser with ultimate. And that should be just free grubs for UNI.
Maybe looking to contest.
Oh.
Does no, he did
Okay.
not get it. I
Okay.
thought he got.
Cool.
I thought he got that grub, but it looks like he did not. Not quite able to take it. Meta team, they're both. Yeah, not really set up for Dragon. Xin Xiao maybe here looking to clear bot side and go for it. Garen roaming. Potentially just clearing out wards. Alright.
Misfortune getting that Vamp Scepter early, so probably Bloodthirster again, first item. I guess that's pretty standard. Especially without having a Soraka. That could be really good. Big ult coming down to Sona, trying to get some damage. Sona flashes forward. Zinzao is there to match. The camera's going crazy. But it doesn't look like anything came out of the bot lane.
No, I think we did see Azir ult the Garen under tower mid. But being Garen, you know, he was able to get away. And apply pressure bot side against.
I think the Sona flash forward without ultimate, very ambitious. Yeah, I kind of respect it. Udyr is going to pick up that dragon for UNI, so 2 objectives over to UNI to Oklahoma 0, 2 kills to UNI to Oklahoma 0. So right on the verge of getting both feats of strength here.
Yeah, you know, talking about feats of strength, just kind of looking at like the towers and positioning. No team has really been able to push. I mean, we do see right now like the Mordekaiser and Xin Xiao in UNI's topside jungle, but still not really been able to push into the towers much. Goes strong down, which I don't think we've seen the turret matter for any of these feats of strength. I think it's pretty much been whatever team gets the first 3 kills has also gotten the objectives.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of how it goes in a lot of games, but first tower usually doesn't mean too much. You're looking top again. Not really gonna get anything. Probably just looking to set up for these grubs in 15 seconds. Cassante taking a lot of damage. Mordekaiser are not gonna heavily commit, knowing Udyr's there. But Xin Zhao on the bottom side of the map is gonna give up grubs here. So that's gonna be the 6 grub buff to UNI and the first feat of strength completed.
Nice stun on the Sona. Getting her pretty low there. Although UNI looks like they've got 4 people from OU bot side really putting that pressure.
Oh,
on
good flash away from the Xerath. Missing the Azir shuffle. Misfortune ult doesn't quite land anything. Xin Zhao taking some tower damage. Sona trying to tank. Jhin flashes forward looking for the Sona, but gets taken down. And they're going to re-dive onto Xerath here. Xin Zhao, good smite to start tanking the tower. Man, that's a 2-for-1 for OU.
And the Xerath is going to pick up those kills for UNI. Not, you know, it's nice UNI was at least able to get some kills out of that, but going on to the Xerath is kind of unlucky for UNI, as it would be much nicer to get those on the Jhin. Garen coming in to clean up bot side.
Cassante things, but Mordekaiser using the ultimate, getting a huge shield out there, is able to survive for a bit. And I didn't even realize this, but you and I got that 3rd kill. So super boots over to UNI once again. This Garen with super swiftness boots is going to be way too fast. Curtain call coming down the bot lane, looking for some chunk in the health bar, but isn't going to do too much.
No. Too many shields.
Yeah.
Through.
I feel like he expected that Deadly Flourish to land for the root, and then just kind of sent it. And I don't know why it didn't hit. It looked like it should have, but...
So it looks like second dragon here spawning. Xinxiao started it, and OU's bot side looking to help out, although Garen there as well, maybe having to back off.
Good little shuffle there from Azir. OU is able to pick up the 2nd dragon. Bunch of ultimates coming down, so the Garen isn't going to quite do too much. Udyr looks like he bit off more than he can chew, but Xerath is getting some good damage down. Garen's just spinning away, and nothing is going to come out of that little skirmish.
You know, I find it interesting. I didn't really see any collapsing. I thought for sure the OU could have taken out either the Xerath or the Jhin if they committed just a little bit more. But good from UNI, kind of being aware, able to help out their teammates, kind of get out of that situation.
Big trade here coming in from the top side. Mordekaiser are going to have to use the ghost to get away there. And I know we've talked about this year a lot already, but I'm going to talk about him just a little bit more. First item Storm Surge is not standard, but I think with the Halo Blades it makes a lot of sense just trying to get that extra damage down right away. Can be very useful. So that's something that you and I might have to be careful about, is that big storm damage coming through.
We've got Herald spawning top side. Is this which side Atacon is going to be spawning on here?
I believe it's bot side.
We haven't had a lot of kills this game, just looking at the score right now. We're 17 minutes in, only 6 kills on the board. I believe we were at least 15 in the other games by this point. So it's definitely going to be a, well, I guess it's not based off kills anymore. Probably going to be a voracious Atacon this game. Looks like UNI is going to take Rift Herald here. I feel like UNI has been pretty uncontested for a lot of these objectives. Really being able to claim those.
Unlike both of the games we've seen so far, I shouldn't open my mouth because the fight's breaking out. Sona going to be taking a lot of damage. Zerathal coming through, trying to disposition them, is going to pick up the Sona as Xin comes in, trying to get something back. Udyr is trying to go down, but he's got a lot of shielding as Jhin runs out of mana and runs fourth shots. As Mordekaiser taking a lot of damage in his round here. Oh, Xerath with the big snipe, able to take down the Xin Zhao. Mordekaiser is going to get away. And what a trade going down here on the bot lane. And still continuing, Garen going in, is going to get the execute onto the Iz here. It's 3 for 1 for UNI. And
yeah.
Again, I shouldn't have said anything because I was like, hey, there hasn't been a lot of action this game. You know, gold lead's pretty even. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, up until that point, it had been very, yeah, pretty quiet. Not a whole lot going on. I mean, now here we see Herald coming out mid for UNI, taking out 2 turrets and going in to hit the third. Does not make it, but it was close. Yeah, with these grubs, you know, UNI having 6 grubs, definitely being able to push those turrets a lot more, especially with the lead that they have on the Garen. Picking up the kills here, I mean, just looking at where the kills are at for UNI. Yeah, got a pretty strong Garen, a pretty strong Xerath here.
Sona flashing away from the Garen, but I don't know if that's the way you want to flash, being able to pick up that with the Collector. Misfortune giving a lot of good return damage as the Misfortune slow comes in. Zhao and Azir here to try to make things happen. Casante is just a nice little wall, and speaking of wall, there goes Azir ultimate. Xerath ultimate coming down, trying to land something onto Xin Zhao. His ultimate expires, so one more shot is going to do it. Xerath picks that up. Mordekaiser had to teleport in. He looks like he's in a bad little place. Ultimate not quite available for him, as Azir is still dealing with Jhin and Xerath in the mid lane. I think if Mordekaiser had that ultimate available when he teleported in, that fight would have gone a lot differently for him.
Yeah, I agree there. There were some moments, definitely when UNI was a little bit close there, but I will say probably my favorite thing to see from the Jhin Xerath comp, which we've gotten to see now twice, at least this round, is UNI's ability to use Jhin ultimate, get out those abilities, get out those cooldowns, and immediately follow it up with the Xerath ultimate, right as the Jhin ultimate is ending. You know, and by that point, you've already wasted pretty much everything you have to answer, to escape the Jhin ult, and it just leaves Xerath able to pick up those kills. And it's been working very beautifully for UNI this game.
Is that Ruinous Otacon?
I did not see what it looked like.
Because if it's Ruinous, then it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out in, well, I guess we'll have to wait. So we'll find out eventually. In 2 minutes, in 10 minutes, who knows?
Schrodinger's Otacon. We just don't look at it as both Otacons. Garen taking a lot of damage here is going to be able to get the tower, but Mordekaiser doing a lot of damage in the Shadow Realm. As Azir's teleport comes in, they're going to be trying to chase this down. Good dash in there for the Azir, not even having to use the ultimate. Sona goes down. I think the Ignite took it. What? The shuffle didn't push back Cassante, because I think the Mordekaiser grab got him, but that doesn't make sense. This game doesn't make sense.
Some more interesting interactions.
Azir and Udyr having a nice little 1v1. Aaron up in 30 seconds, Dragon up for another 2 minutes. So nothing aside from Otacon to really fight over for both of the teams. So kind of just settling into a little bit of a lull. Which is off character for these last few games.
Yeah, most teams just kind of, farming, doing their own thing, getting prepared. We do see a lot of vision from OU, although most of it's on their side of the river. But still, kind of getting prepared for, either for Dragon or for Baron. I don't know if either teams are going to be set up for Baron. I don't feel like they have the most damage right now anyways. Let's take that on. I can see it.
A little bit of a skirmish here going on in the jungle. Good Sona ult, trying to keep Xin Zhao alive, but it's not quite enough. Garen ultimate is going to pick up that kill. And that's a jungler down for OU, so they have an opening to look for this Baron. I don't know if they should. Looks like they're going to try it. As Udi are pushing Mordekaiser off of that. Cassante is going to recall to try and deal with that Azir, stop him from split pushing. As now OU just have to be annoying. Garen taking a lot of damage from the Misfortune. Going to spin in there and is going to spin out, but the auto attack, someone who follows him, is able to get that kill. And now UNI on the run, getting ulted by the Mordecai. No way out for that one. Udi are trying to stick around. Azir wandering up from bottom. Good Shuriman shuffle there. Isn't quite able to get to Udi. He flashes over the wall. Back to the safety of tower. But a little ambitious Baron call there by UNI.
Yeah.
And now it's OU's turn to start up the Baron.
I was gonna say, I think that's pretty greedy Baron take or Baron attempt from UNI. As now they've pretty much handed it to OU. Although they can, you know, look to get their third dragon off this. Yeah, not the best call there. I don't think. Just don't quite have the damage yet to take it as fast as they would have needed to.
Third dragon collected for UNI. It is going to be the Infernal Soul, so even more explosive fights. But trading Baron for Soul is one thing. Trading Baron for not a Soul Dragon is much worse. As Azir is getting collapsed on here by 4 members of OU, and Misfortune doesn't even get the assist because the Storm Surge from Azir is going to shock him to death. Mordekaiser able to run away for a little bit, but Xerath then comes in and takes that. But that's so many resources committed up topside that OU is just going to start out this Otacon, and I don't think he test this.
No, UNI does not have the means. It's ruinous? What?
Does that make sense? Surely.
I mean, like you said, it's with whatever is worth, I guess, a lot of points. It must be the damage must be the most important factor, because I mean, we saw how many kills they had at like 15-20 minutes, and it was not. I mean, even now they still haven't even reached 20 kills, and we're almost 30 minutes into the game. So yeah, whatever they did to Otacon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like we've got a fight breaking out mid here. It's a little bit. OU's looking to take this turret, you know, kind of get some of that space with the Baron buff that they do have.
So no flashing forward, ulting. Xerath is just going to get locked down and annihilated by that Misfortune ultimate. Second mid tower going down. Garen forced to recall, trying to protect his base. As Mordekaiser just keeps pushing top lane. As your tower goes up, even more pushing power here. As the Baron minions too strong, another tower gonna fall, and mid lane inhibitor going down. Azir shuffles in, hits 2 of them. Udyr is gonna be able to go down there as they're looking for more, not quite able to find it, but they do have another cannon minion wave here coming in. Jhin tries to clear the way, but that 4 shot isn't going to quite be enough. But Baron did just run out, so maybe UNI has a chance here. Cassante going all out onto the Mordekaiser as Garen tries to go into the back line. Isn't quite enough. Jhin trying to output some damage, is going to get hit up by the Xin Zhao and is going to go down. The base of UNI is falling. Mordekaiser keeping that Xerath away from his team. And that is going to be OU finishing up this series 2-1.
Wow.